guys, it's me, the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar, and welcome to Get Curried. Well, today's video is for all you guys who love Indian breads, and of course with Indian food. Trust me, you do not need any extraordinary gadgets for something like this. I'm going to use a tawa and show you how to make Indian breads. Today, naan and its different kinds. Let's begin. First things first, let me show you how to make the basic naan dough. Now the difference between naan and roti dough is naan uses refined flour or maida and roti uses whole wheat flour. Clear? Let's begin. Let me add in the first thing to the refined flour, and that is curd. Curd brings in that softness in your naan dough. Sugar. Now this is powdered sugar so that there are no grains in the dough. Let's add in baking soda. Let's move on to flavor, that is salt in this case, some oil. I'm going to add water at this stage before I actually put my fingers into the flour because I do not want the crumbly texture like breadcrumbs. That is required when you're making cookies or biscuits, not in this case. In this case, you need a nice, soft and pliable dough. Do not get too adventurous. Do not add in a lot of water at one go, because even if I tell you how much water to add in, it really depends on the dryness of the flour. If the flour is extremely dry, you may need a few tablespoons more. Once all of this comes together, I'm going to transfer this on a clean kitchen top, like so, and knead this for at least 2 to 3 minutes. What you need to do is push this away from you and pull it back. It's as simple as that. Knock it, push it, pull it. As simple. The whole idea is to ensure that the dough becomes nice and elastic. Well, technically, this elasticity is called developing the strands of gluten. Bring all of this together, like so. And we transfer this in the same bowl. The next step is to cover this with a moist or a wet cloth and keep this aside at least for 10 minutes so that it just rests. It's very important. The dough has rested well, and give this one quick knead. I'm going to show you 3 different kinds of naan, so keep watching. The first one is a garlic naan. So I'm going to divide this dough into 3 parts for 3 different kinds to begin with. This one is for the kulcha, and the third part is for the rogni naan. I'm going to divide this dough further into 2 or 3 parts depending on the size that you're looking at. Well, for a restaurant, 100-gram dough is just perfect. Let's begin with the first one. I'm just taking a touch of refined flour as a dusting so that this does not stick to the bottom of the working table. Spread it like so, and with a rolling pin, roll it. Once it roughly comes to this thickness, I'm going to add in just a dab of water so that the garlic gets nice and beautifully studded. Now this is crushed garlic. I'm going to add just a touch of coriander so that it looks nice and colorful. Some sesame seeds, in this case, white sesame. A touch of refined flour, and we dab this. There we go. The next step is to take a rolling pin and roll this. If you want the naan to be nice and crisp, which I know some of you like, roll it thin. If you like it nice and pillowy, keep it slightly thicker. If there's any unevenness with the tip of your fingers, you can actually make it nice and even. And then you carefully lift this and flip it like so. The bottom needs to be brushed with water. This will help in ensuring that this sticks to the pan. Very carefully, we lift this, and the side which was rubbed with water gets stuck to the bottom of the pan, like so. I'm going to cover this precisely for 30 seconds on high flame. This will ensure that you get bubbles on the naan, which is again one of the signature looks of a naan. Time to uncover and flip this directly onto the open flame. Exactly the way you would fry a papadum. Our garlic naan is done and ready. Let's take this to the next level and make this butter garlic naan. Let's move on to the next variety, and this one is a kulcha, a classic simple kulcha. Divide this dough into two parts this time, because remember, a kulcha is spiral. A little bit of flour on the worktop, and we're going to roll this into a thin disc. Stretch it as thin as you can. And to this, I'm going to apply a little bit of butter. And on top of this, I'm going to dust a little bit of the refined flour. Give it a few knocks like these. And now there are several ways in which you can make a kulcha. You can either collect all of this together or pleat this, or use this method, which is cutting the dough into long strips like so. You collect all of this together. These long strips, they all come together, and eventually you start coiling these like so. Dust a little bit of flour and start rolling these like thick naans. I'm going to start this with a little bit of kalonji or nigella seeds. Just ensure they get studded like so. Let's lift this up and place this on top of the tawa. Let's cover this for 30 seconds and allow this to cook in this dry heat now. Let's uncover this, flip it over straight onto the open flame. Let's transfer this on the plate as well, and let's smear in some butter. Let's move on to the next naan, which is the rogni naan. Now, of course, the word rogni comes from another word, which is rogan, and rogan literally means the oil that rises on top of the curries or gravies. In this case, we've made chili oil. It's very simple. Just warm up some oil and add in powdered chili, which gives you good color. There you go, with the most amazing chili oil. Let's dredge some flour and roll this like so. Well, this naan is slightly thicker, like so. And it also has a shape. Now, generally, you get like a mold or a press which gives you that quintessential shape, but we do not have it here. So what do? We take a potato masher and we create a dock like so. Now, because this is a rogni naan, I'm going to brush this with some chili oil for that nice and bright color. Let's lift this up very carefully and put this to bake again. Let's cover this. The rogni naan is also done and ready, and needless to say, some more rogan. With this, your different kinds of naans are done and ready. You can eat this literally with anything Indian. A nice curry, gravy, or trust me, just like this. Make this for your family, make this for your friends, and stay tuned. Bye for now.